covering that. That's just for the space. But if you want air conditioning, that's different. If you want actually doors on the building, you know. So you want to just budget that, but you have to know how much you need to make it happen. And if let's say you want to build something, like a statue or something, you got to call around and, find out how much the materials cost, how much labor it costs, and estimate that and put it together in a budget so that when you ask for the money and they say, hey, we got that. Or they say, no, we can only do X amount of dollars, and then you can get other people to help in. But you need to know because you just can't go off and then realize you have no idea how much things are going to cost because you might either run out of money, and that's a bad situation when you're out of dough and you're like, hey, we need some more money. Right. That looks very unprofessional.
How do you research your target brands?
Your target branding is basically asking yourself, okay, what are you into? If your audience is just like you, ask them, what are you into? What things do you like? If you're into technology, okay, what kind of technology do you like? What's cool to you? And if you have people that are in your audience is similar to you, then that's a good starting point. And that's where you go. You go on their website, look at what they got going on, or you could even ask people, in your audience. If you can communicate with them back and forth, you can be like, hey, what brands are you guys using? What's your favorite this? What's hot? And get some feedback from your audience. But that'll help you shape your focus on what brands to go after.
Got it. Once you figure out the brand, you got to figure out who the contact person.
Yes.
And how do you usually find that person? Like, what position are you looking for? Is there a title? Is there a name?
You can look at the brand managers, the marketing people. I would say if you can look on LinkedIn, that's a good start because that tells you exactly who's doing what. I've done stuff where I even just posted things on Twitter, asking a question, or hit the people up on Twitter or social media. You can use that to reach people. So there's a variety of ways you can do it. You don't
have to stalk them outside the company.
No, you don't have to be outside the door in the parking lot. You don't got to do that. You don't have to do all that. But those are just ways to reach out to people. There's more ways to contact people than any other time in history.
Right.
You can send them an email. You can try to just cold call them. But I would say go to the website and look at who's doing what. If that's not available, go to LinkedIn. If you can't find something there, ask around. You may post something up like, hey, I'm looking to talk to somebody that works at blank. And they're like, hey, my friend works there. Holler at them. You never know.
So what is it about keeping up with a company's press releases that makes it necessary?
Oh, that's a way to find out what they got going on. Anytime they do something worth noting, they post a press release. And you can look at their press releases and see what they got, what's happening with them. And that gives you an idea of how you can work what you got into what they have going on.
And so if they have a kind of campaign they're running, because the press releases, they sometimes give a heads up of what they're already planning to do or what they're looking to do. And if you see that something fits you and then you can find your spot in there, then that's when you attack.
Yeah, you can do that. Like, the example we gave a while ago was the tablet thing. If you find out that the tablet company is targeting artists, and you have a project that is artists using tablets, it's a perfect match.
Right.
Now you can work whatever you got to work out in your proposal and all that, but you can see how it can go together. It makes sense.
Got it. And the last thing is some of the things you need to do first, and I think we covered a little bit on the last podcast, but we're gonna bring in the point is that to create the elevator pitch, and there's a series of things that you need to have ready when you make contact. Yeah.
When you make contact with them, first of all, you don't want to send somebody anything before making contact with them. Because it'll probably get caught up in their spam. So if you got like an attachment with a proposal and all that, this person doesn't know you. It's coming in the mail. It's probably going to bounce back or get put in their spam folder. But you want to make contact with somebody, and let them know what you're about to do. But in that, you should definitely have in your one sheet. If you send that when you send that to them first, you got to have who you are, what you're trying to do, when you're trying to do it. The basics, how you plan on doing it, who's your audience, and your contact info. In that way, that lets people know a brief idea of what you got going on. Very brief. It's like 1 or 2 pages, even though it's a one sheet. It can be 2. Mm-hmm. You don't want it to be like a major document, like 10-page document. They're not going to read it.
One sheet means one.
1 to 2 sheets. If you can make it 1, that's great. If you could 2, you can push it a little bit. Make it a PDF. Shoot it to them. Real simple. Nothing too heavy. Don't have it be 100 megs or anything like that. Make it real small, and they can open it up on their computer or whatever device and get the information they need. Mm-hmm. That is to pique their interest. That gets the foot in the door. And then after that, then you can go into the proposal, then the customized proposal and things like that.
Okay.
Yep.
If people are working on a project and they would like to get in touch with you, are you available to give them one-on-one mentoring or consultation?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm available in several convenient locations. All of which are online.
And where do we go?
Well, you can contact me through my social media. I'm at W, as spells Dubelyo. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, so I'm easy to find there. Or you can go to my website, which is w.net, which is my name spelled out, .net, and has all my contact info.
Very cool.
Yes.
Before reaching out to you, what's one thing of advice you want to give an artist who's interested in taking the consultation serious and being prepared when they come to you?
I would say have an idea of what you want to do. A solid idea. When you want to do it, and a general idea of how you want to get it done. That way, when we have a talk, we can actually talk about actual plans as opposed to like, I'm thinking about doing something and it gets really vague, and now I'm trying to figure out. If I can't visualize what you're talking about, that's a problem, because I can't really help. But if you actually have a strong idea that's flushed out a little bit, then I can actually visualize it, we're off to the races.
Send us feedback to dtm@artistking.org and subscribe to the Artist King podcast on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, or ArtistKingArchive.com. This has been your Artist King podcast, and I am DTM of DeltaTangoMike.com, telling you to get out and learn so you can earn. Let go of the starving artist title and move into the thriving artist art life. See you next week.